Hello, John Carroll. I'm Luis Jimenez.
And I'm Chris Burrell.
And this is JCTV News Beyond the Headlines. And up first, we have a story by Maya on hacks on getting by at school.
What is up, guys? It's Maya, and this week I did school hacks. So keep watching. For my first school hack is to have a pen and pencil in your bag at all times. You never know when you might lose your pencil pouch and you have a test the next period and you might be out of luck. It's always best just to have a good backup. And for my second one is to have a time that you absolutely must go to bed at. So if you wake up at 6 in the morning to get to school on time, always go to bed at 11 so you have that 7 hours of sleep that your body can use to refresh and retain all the information it learned from the previous school day, and so it can function properly the next day. And for the next one, it's very easy, but it's just to put all your stuff together the night before. That means laying out uniforms, putting homework and textbooks in your backpack, or if you drive, put your textbooks in your car so you don't even have to worry about it. And just make sure everything is set out so you don't have to worry about anything in the morning and you can just grab and go. And for the next one is if you're taking a foreign language class and you want to practice what you learned, try speaking to people that have already taken the class or they're in the class with you, or even better, try to talk to a native speaker. It's always best to mess up and try again than to never try at all, because we all learn from mistakes. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Estoy bien, ¿y tú?
Estoy bien. Gracias. And for my final tip is if you're reading a story for homework or just in general, put a little gummy bear on each paragraph so when you finish a paragraph, you have a little treat and reward to keep you going. Thanks you guys for watching. And back to you, Luis and Chris.
Thanks, Maya. And up next we have Yorgo with the weather.
Hello, John Carroll. I'm Yorgo Saris, and I'm here with this weekly weather. So now we're going to go into Thursday. We got a high of 75 and a low of 57. Friday, you got a high of 78 and a low of 53. Saturday, you got a high of 62 and a low of 34. Sunday, you got a high of 62 and a low of 44. And then Monday, you got a high of 68 and a low of 55. And then Tuesday, you got a high of 76 and a low of 65, with rain both Monday and Tuesday. So now let's look at the actual forecast. As you can see, it's coming in from the west, and it shouldn't be affecting your weekend until you come back to school on Monday and Tuesday. And that's back to you, Louise and Chris.
Thanks, Yorgo, for the weather report. Up next, we have Jo King with sports.
Thanks, Louise. This week in sports, our softball team is playing tonight against St. Clair County at 5 o'clock, as well as our boys playing at 6:30 against Briarwood. Make sure to come and support. Also, Friday, our boys and girls soccer team are playing in a tournament. That's it. Back to you, Louise.
Thanks, Jo King. And up next we have our school president, Noah Smith.
Thanks, guys. This week we have soccer. So yesterday we had a game and hopefully that went well. This weekend we'll be having a tournament in Gulf Shores, so pray for all your athletes. We also had Mu Alpha Theta inductions yesterday, so congratulations to all those now in Mu Alpha Theta. And I'd like to welcome everybody back from the Kairos retreat and encourage you to go if you have the opportunity. Thanks.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
You look like you're having some trouble. Have some perfect water.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam.
Perfect water. Perfects the game.
And welcome back. And up next we have the verse of the week that comes to us from the Holy Bible.
Yes, it does. And it comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 through 7, and it goes like this. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres.
That's powerful.
Yes.
That's really powerful.
And being on Kairos really reminded us of love, and it brought this verse to mind.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we get so caught up in our daily lives that we forget to reflect back on ourselves and remind ourselves that we're loved and we're also called to love other people.
Yes, yes. And while we're on the topic of Kairos, we might as well go into some interviews that I had earlier this week with a couple of the participants.
Kairos was a really good experience to really open up and meet new people that you never met before, never seen at school, and get to know them on a deeper level, like with your faith, and reflect and have time to spend with God.
For me personally, being a leader for Kairos 4 was a lot different than being a participant for Kairos 3. One of my favorite parts of being a part of the leading team for Kairos 4 was watching my table group go from not really knowing each other to almost being best friends by the end of the retreat, and I loved being able to sit back, serve the Lord, and watch the Holy Spirit work through everyone.
There's just a lot of, happiness, I guess. I really loved it.
I was really excited to be able to go on Kairos a second time after the one in October, but this time to be able to go and lead everybody and see the change that they experienced from the first day to the fourth day. So it was really exciting to experience their changes, but this time leading.
Well, there you have it, folks. And thank you to everyone that let me interview them, gave us a few words about it.
And up next, we have Will Beasley talking about the Lego Batman movie.
Thanks, guys. And this week, I'll be reviewing the Lego Batman movie, which is a spin-off of one of my favorite movies of all time, the Lego Movie. And because the Lego Movie is such a great film, in my opinion, I really didn't have that much high hopes going into this, as it was a spin-off, and I thought it would just try and cash in on what worked in the Lego Movie, and it wouldn't end up working in this one, but I was pleasantly surprised to be wrong. And how the Lego Movie was basically an unlikely hero story wrapped up in a giant Lego commercial, this is a Batman parody / actual Batman movie wrapped up in a Lego commercial. And with this being a parody movie, they waste no punches being thrown at old iterations of Batman, as they point out some of the not so smart decisions made in Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, and then they also make fun of the Dark Knight trilogy by having Bane talk like this and mentioning Joker's plan in the Dark Knight. And then they also reference the Schumacher films a couple of times, and they have the Burton films in there when they mention how Joker would parade around Gotham with Prince music in the background, and by having Two-Face voiced by Billy D. Williams. And even on top of that, the 1960s Adam West show even gets to shine, as they make some references to that through Alfred. And it's not just the on-screen Batman that's made fun of, as they also poke at Batman in general and the comics by mentioning some of the more obscure Batman villains, such as the Condiment King, Calendar Man, Polka Dot Man, Crazy Quilt, and Egghead. This movie's greatest strength is its pacing, as it is very heavily comedy driven, and it doesn't waste too much time on one joke hoping you'll get it, or linger too much between jokes, and it's very fast and goes boom, 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 as good comedy should be. And while this is very comedy driven, it is not all jokes, as they do slow down a couple of times in order to develop Batman's character, and the story they use to develop his character in this movie is actually pretty unique and hasn't been done in any Batman movie before, but it fits Batman's character so well that I wouldn't be surprised if a director decided to make a Batman movie seriously off of this story. Unfortunately, not every joke lands, and there are a couple where you just go, ugh, and then you also roll your eyes at. But luckily there are plenty of great jokes to more than make up for them. All around, I'm going to give the Lego Batman movie a 9.8 out of 10. Back to you, Luis and Chris.
Thanks, Will. And up next we have Morgan with What's Trending.
Hey JC, welcome back to What's Trending. Today we're talking about the former convict turned runaway model, Jeremy Meeks. Jeremy Meeks was arrested back in 2014 for felony weapon charges, and his mugshot went viral. He was dubbed as Mugshot McDreamy. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison and was recently released. His gorgeous blue eyes and razor-sharp cheekbones landed him a runway model job in a New York fashion show. I'm not a fan of what made him famous, but I'm glad he turned his life around. Thanks, JC. Back to you, Louise and Chris.
Thanks, Morgan. If I was a felon, I'd probably be a model too. But anyways, up next we have Samanhe interviewing Dr. OToole.
Thanks, Luis and Chris. I'm here with Dr. OToole,
Hi, guys.
and we're interviewing him on becoming the new principal of John Carroll. So, Dr. OToole, tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay. I've been a principal before. I was a principal at Lord High School in Rochester, Minnesota. I've taught at the high school level. As we know, I've had you guys in class,
Yes.
right? I taught at the high school level up in Rochester, Minnesota. But I've also taught in college level, right? Done quite a bit of teaching in college level and have quite a bit of administrative background. So I've run parishes, I've run schools, or I've led parishes and I've led schools because I prefer not to say that I run the school, but that I lead the school, and I encourage everybody to walk together so we can be all moving in a good direction and be successful. So.
And what's it like moving into the position of principal almost over halfway through the year?
Well, it's different, and the movement itself, causes. We have to recognize that it causes some confusion sometimes, and maybe some turmoil. But I think that the skill set, if you will, that I bring to this change is one of openness, transparency. Wanting everybody to be comfortable, that we're going to be okay, that we're going to keep moving forward, and we're going to do it in a good way and in partnership with one another. Not just partnership with like the admin leadership of the school and the faculty of the school, but most importantly, with our student body, right? And then that naturally gives a real comfort level to our parents. So yeah, I think by doing that, by working that way.
Do you think this position is going to be a temporary or permanent?
That's up to the leadership above me. Okay. Right now, I have told them I'd be more than happy to stay through and get us all the way to the end of the school year in a very comfortable and forward-moving way, and then we'll just have to see it play out, how it plays out. It is in many ways in that regard. It's a piece at a time. It's a day at a time, and we'll see what God's plan for it all is. Right? My experience in the past, has led to, let's call it, to permanency of the position, but we have to be, and I certainly am, open to whatever God's plan is for us as John Carroll and for myself and the lovely and talented Mrs. O, right? And I am sure it'll become clear as we move together the direction that it may take. We just have to wait and see. The big thing is that each day we are doing what we need to do to have a positive presence and a positive experience for everybody. For you guys, for your parents, for our faculty, for our staff, for our general community. And if we're doing that, right, we're setting ourselves up to be successful for the next day, right? And then if that's good, we'll be successful the next day. And we'll just keep moving forward together, and we pray a lot.
Yeah.
And we'll be cool. We'll be good. We'll be good.
All right. Thank you, Dr. OToole.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
I think that'll be all. Back to you, Luis and Chris.
Thanks, Samanhe, and just congratulations to Dr. OToole, being our principal now.
It's all about the love, baby.
It's all about the love. And anyways, this has been JCTV News Beyond the Headlines.
Signing out.